Hello everyone. So today topic is call, apply and bind. I'm writing here call, call, apply and bind. So first of all I'll explain what is call. So in that call, the call method calls a function with a specified this value and individual arguments. The call method calls a function with a specified this value and individual arguments. Individual arguments. And then it is like syntax of this, like syntax, like function, func dot call, and these are an argument, and let's say argument 2, and then 3 dot, and then bracket close. So that is the syntax of call. Now I will explain in code. Online JS compiler. So in that, first of all, I'll write like one function. Function greet, let's say like name and age. And then console dot log dot log, like using backtick hello, and then name. Okay. And then like age is in like in dollar in curly braces, then age. Let's say years old. Okay. And then we call this function greet, and then using dot call, and then let's say like we pass null, and then name like Priya, and then let's say age is 30. Okay, so the output will I will got like hello Ria, age is 30 years old. See, hello Ria, age is 30 years old. Why? Because these args refer to the value of this inside the function, and in this null is pass, but it doesn't affect the function because greet doesn't use this. That's why I applied these things. Okay. So the next is I will explain the use case. The use case is applies especially especially is useful when you like don't know how many arguments the function will take, or when you have an array of argument to pass. So that is the use case of call. Like use call when you need to in sorry yeah, in that call, the use case of call, like when you need to invoke a function and ensure that it user a specific object like this within its execution context, and you can also pass the argument directly. So that is the use case of call. And the second is I will explain apply. So the apply method is similar to call, but instead of passing argument individually, you pass them as an array or like a or array like object. The apply method is similar to call, but instead of passing arguments individually, pass them as an array or array like a object. And now I will write syntax. Syntax is like func dot apply, using because in apply we are using apply, then same these argument, and then in that array arg but arg1, and then argument 2, and then dot dot. Okay, so this the syntax of the apply. So in that, in apply you can simply like call this function greet dot apply, and simply it is like in null, and in that array we can pass like Ria, let's say age is 27, yeah, 28 something. Okay, so now I will get, oh sorry, I write in great, spelling is mistake, and apply also apply. Now I will get hello Ria, age is 20 years old, 28 years old. So that is the use of apply. In apply, allowed to pass argument as an array. I pass argument as an array, and which is useful when the number of argument is dynamic or unknown. So that is the apply. So in that apply, the use case of apply is especially useful when you don't know how many arguments the function will take, or when you have an array or argument to pass. So that is the use case of apply. And the next is I will explain bind. Bind. So in the bind method creates a new function that when called has its this value set to the specified this arg and prevents the given arguments. The bind method creates a new function that when called has it these value set to the specified these are and prevents the given arguments. Okay, and the same is like syntax. I will explain. Like in that syntax is like func dot bind and then this arg and then argument 1 and then argument 2 and then state operator like in 3 dot. So I'll explain like in example. So in that, like I define one variable that's name is like greet Ria or something, greet Ria, and then I call this function greet dot bind and then null and then name is like Ria and then call this greet Ria and then pass age like 25. Okay, now we will see what will get output. Hello Ria, age is 25 years old. That is the how we can call this function in bind. So bind doesn't invoke the function, it is immediately instead it returns a new function with a fix this context and initial arguments you can later invoke this new function with more arguments if needed. And the use case of bind, so in that use case the bind is useful when we need to create a function with a fixed this context and optional argument but you don't want to invoke it immediately. So that is the use case of bind. So if I will talk about like summary of like call, apply and bind. So call is like invoke a function immediately passing argument individually and apply invoke a function immediately passing argument as an array and bind is returns a new function with the specified this context and optional preset arguments. The function is not called immediately. So that's all about call, apply and bind. Thank you. If you like video, so please subscribe and share. Thank you.